No, it is not -5 degrees outside. It is actually 16 degrees outside, but that doesn't mean that I cannot enjoy a very nice stew. So that is what I'm going to cook today. Right over here I have some nice dark beer, some mustard, some mushrooms, a leek, a carrot, and my beef. And right over here I got my big pot. So today it is going to be a very awesome meal again. Let's cook, shall we? Okay, so first we're going to start off with doing some prepping. And that means that I need to cut some stuff. I also am gonna grab myself some onions, 2 white and a red one. And of course some very good garlic. Alright, first gonna chop off the ends of the carrot, some more for my pets. Get these nice and cleaned up. Cut it in half, and I want some nice big pieces. This is maybe a bit too big, so I'm going to cut them in half once again. Like so. And I'm going to throw that all in here. There's my carrot. For my leeks, I'm going to cut this pieces off, so the top and the bottom. Let me grab something to throw the trash in. There we go. I'm also going to cut this in half. Take off the outer leaves, because you can see there's still some sand in there. I don't want to have that in my food. So we're going to clean it up a little bit. Just rinse it off with water. Okay. And I'm going to throw this also in there. Actually, what I might do in the meantime is make sure my pot is nice and hot. That rhymes. So I can start coloring the meat. And I'm going to leave them in entire pieces before I will cut them up after I cook them. And we're going to do with, let's say, five cloves of garlic. And 5 may seem a lot, but in the end it's all about flavors, so let's clean it up a little. Those are some nasty onions. My eyes start to water. Like so. Now I'm going to rub some olive oil. About 4 tablespoons, I would say. First off, I want to put some salt and pepper on the meat. Nice amount. Okay. Now got my salt and pepper on there. As you can see, go and put them salt side down. Look at that. I'm gonna put the lid on for a bit. against the splashing. And in the meantime, I'm going to continue cutting up my vegetables. Okay, all of my nice vegetables, look at that. So, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so the meat is looking very good, so I'm going to take that out. Right here on the cutting board. Keep a little bit of distance between the pan and the camera, or else I get all the fat on my camera, which happened also in the video with the tenderloin and the red wine sauce. That wasn't very pleasant to clean that up afterwards. Also in the meantime, I grabbed some fresh thyme from my garden. Oh, that's quite hot though. If this was a steak, that would be brilliant. But this won't be eatable like this. Well, very chewy. Alright, everything's been chopped up. I also got my mushrooms cut up. I'm going to add them as well. Let's put some heat in the pan. Right now I'm going to add the minced garlic. I add it on later in the pan because I don't want the garlic to get burned, because that will give it a bitter taste. And back in goes the meat. Good. So my leek is starting to dissolve a little bit, but that doesn't matter because it's mostly there for flavor and not for garnish anyways. So that doesn't really matter. Right now, I'm going to add 2 bottles of double beer. Well, 1 and a bit, because I'll keep the last sip for myself. Oh, that's delicious. Alright, a lot of foam, but it will be gone in a little bit. Alright. Also, I'm going to add 1 big tablespoon of mustard. Let's get my spoon clean. That is actually starting to smell really good. And in just a little bit, I have some chicken stock here. Need to stir that up a bit. I'm also going to add in about 1 liter of chicken stock. And I'm adding chicken stock because it has a lot of flavor in it, and there's already beef in there, so the flavor from beef will also get into the stew. Check that out. Nice big pot. Now I'm going to let that sit for, well, let's say until it cooks. Then I'm going to put it on a little plate, this one, and then yeah, let it simmer away for a bit. So I'll see you in just a second. Alright, meanwhile I have been taking a shower, so that's why I changed t-shirts, if you didn't notice. And I'm going to check out how the stew is looking. Alright, it has been reduced. As you can see, we started off somewhere around here, and yeah, we have lost a bit. So right now I'm going to turn on this small stove here. Gonna heat up this plate. And then I want to pick this up. Put it on there, put the fire low. Then I'm going to let this simmer for another couple of hours. So I just tasted it. It's starting to taste amazing, but has a long way to go still. I also included the time. Don't know if I can find it right now, but there's time somewhere in here. Alright, I'll see that in a couple of hours. Okay, so the stew has been on there for quite some time. As you can see, very beautiful. And it's still a bit watery, so now I'm going to make a roux. And going to make the sauce, or whatever you call it, a little bit thicker. So for that I'm going to take a pan, and what you want to do is about 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm taking 1 tablespoon butter and 1 tablespoon of flour. So that's about it. I almost grabbed sugar. That would be a very, very sweet roux. Now we're going to whisk this. As you can see, it starts to form some lumps. Lower the heat a bit. And then I'm waiting till it starts to smell a bit like cookies. Okay, that will do. What I'm going to do now is get some juice from the pan. A bit more. And as you can see, this starts to thicken right away. And this will get very thick in just a little bit. Now I'm going to add that back in here. God, that smells good. Turn this off. And right away it starts to thicken, as you can see. It's still a bit watery, a bit runny, but I'm going to let that sit for another hour and a half. By the time I'm going to eat this, it will be all nice and thick, as I like my stews. So, gonna wait another 1.5 hours and then we'll be back. Alright, as you can see, I moved the stew over to here, and now I'm going to cook myself some potatoes, because I'm going to make mashed potatoes with my stew. So I got my water, going to add a decent amount of salt, and yeah, just gonna wait till the water is going to boil. In the meantime, I'm also going to add my potatoes, of course. Alright. Gonna let that go and come back in 15 minutes, check it out. Then we continue. Okay, so my potatoes are done, and yeah, I'm going to mash them. So right here I got an egg that goes in, and of course, as usual, I'm going also to add some butter, because once again I think butter is one of the tastiest things that you can put in a mashed potato or a mashed potato dish, whatever. There we go. Got some more. Trying to make a little bit small chunks so it will melt easily. Yes. Little bit. There you go. Also, I want some pepper in here. Okay, let's give the potatoes a taste. I left them a bit dry this time, because of course I have this lovely sauce from the stew. There's a pinch more salt. That is more than enough. It's nice and fluffy though, as you can see. Okay. And there you have it, my very delicious meal. Well, this won't win a prize for best decorating, but at least it tastes good. So let's eat. Okay, I'm very curious. So the stew has been on the fire for about 3 to 4 hours. So it smells absolutely delicious. Let's go. Oh, this is so rich in flavor. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get some of the meat. Wow, that is fantastic. Absolutely spot on. So I'm going to finish this and then I'm gonna close off the video. Cheers. Oh wow, I needed a minute there. I had a little after dinner nap because it was so much, but it was absolutely delicious. I very much enjoyed that, and thank God, as usual, I have some left for tomorrow and maybe even the day after tomorrow. So that's gonna make me happy tomorrow again. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down below in the comments. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and see you next time. Bye bye!